Hello, welcome back to the EU Salt Mine. I am your host, Brian. It is the end, the final day of operations in the EU mine. Salt production has had highs and lows, but it has been a pleasure. Before we begin, let me say thank you to our sponsor, Manscaped. They contributed half the prize pool, the other half was given very generously and very anonymously. oKhaliD has been waiting for quite some time now for the challenger for first place. He has a 7-0 series win record in the league, and could make that a perfect 8-win run in the mine today. Here to stop him is Ixo, who has fought through 3 rounds of the Gauntlet to be here. With yet another best of 7 ahead of him, he will feel exhausted already. But he will be determined to win. So for the last time in the EU mine this year, here's Johnny.
The undefeated Middle Eastern legend is back on the field to try and add another series win to his incredible run already. An impressive feat, of course. But so is that of Ixo, winning 3 series back to back in the Gauntlet already. He's already beaten Alpha 54, who took him down in league play. Now he's trying to do the same thing to oKhaliD, who has just beaten everybody. He's running rings around Ixo at the start of the game though, and 1-0 oKhaliD inside 30 seconds. And he's just showing such patience, such awareness, such great decision making, knowing exactly what to do in almost every situation. And that's been the difference between him and every other player in this tournament, is the mistakes just don't seem to happen. When he's on the field, every move he makes is so calculated and so precise. Ixo is going to need to play his absolute best if he's going to win here today, but that's a pretty good 50-50 mid-air. Ixo unable to loft the ball high enough in the second touch though. You can always bet on oKhaliD's recoveries being up there with some of the best in the world. oKhaliD misses the bump on Ixo. There is that recovery that we just talked about. Ixo getting the ball past oKhaliD for a second time in the midfield though. This is going to give oKhaliD something to think about. He's struggling to block Ixo's outplays. He does get a stop on that one and another one, getting sent long and away from danger. Still only the 1-goal lead for oKhaliD. Ixo has a lot of space on the left side of the field. He's got oKhaliD on his sight and he's going to try and show him how the air double bump works. There it goes. 1-1. Ixo has scored the shot that oKhaliD just failed with no more than a minute ago. And in terms of air double bumping, Ixo must be the top player in the league, probably in the world at the moment. Especially if we just look at the NA Salt Mine and the EU Salt Mine combined. I don't think anybody's put together as many as he has, at least not with the consistency that he has. His defending of them has been exquisite as well. oKhaliD ahead by 1 again. Kickoff coming in clutch. Might think about demoing Ixo here, but instead it's Ixo looking to demo oKhaliD. Of all the players in the league who you're going to have a hard time demoing, it's this guy. He is constantly paying attention to what you're doing, where you're going, and what your next move is going to be. 3-1 oKhaliD. So far, apart from 2 outplays in the midfield and 1 successful air dribble bump, Ixo is struggling to get any consistent sort of pressure going. It's very much all in right now. Can he get the first move to work? If he can't, then oKhaliD is probably going to take the ball for himself. Ixo with a nice demo on the back wall. He just caught that one before running out of boost. Still, we're going to get the play moving as quickly as possible. Ixo never want to waste any time. oKhaliD is staying close to him here. And don't be fooled, just because oKhaliD is known for his insane defense does not mean that he's going to be sitting in goal for this entire game, just watching Ixo come at him over and over again. No, he's going to be challenging, but wow, what a shot by Ixo. He's just snuck one in the near post here with a wave dash off the wall. That is beautiful placement. oKhaliD thought he had the near post covered, but it's bounced in off the post. And Ixo's within 1 exactly as halftime passes by. Every landing that Ixo makes, he's holding power slide to maintain all that momentum. oKhaliD driving headlong into a challenge, but Ixo's not too afraid of it, and he's got the tie game here. Big plays in the midfield by Ixo. He's looking fast. oKhaliD might have his work cut out for him here. Usually, he has a much higher success rate of stopping his opponent on occasion. He doesn't stop them every time, but that's because the level that we have this year in the EU Salt Mine is just unbelievably high. You can't expect to save every shot, every attack in a game, but to get multiple goals quickly against oKhaliD has really not been done. And Ixo is actually getting quite a lot of shots past him. oKhaliD quickly down the left-hand side. Another air dribble. This one's going to be a dunk, and it's going to work out as well. He does not go for the same play that he failed with earlier on in the game. He decides to switch things up a bit, and it does pay off. A minute and 49 left. oKhaliD in the lead by 1 again. Both players moving slowly after an even kickoff, but Ixo's flipped over the ball here. He said that his win in the previous round against Alpha was all down to mentality. He felt like he was going to win that game. How does he feel about this one? It's not going too well for him, but those are a couple of clutch saves. And he's unfortunate, you know, that the boost didn't spawn under him. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Ixo on the counter equalizes again. And after barely keeping the ball out of his net a couple of times, he finds a way through. And for once, oKhaliD is not recovering at Supersonic. Tense game 1. oKhaliD is at the edge. So always having to come back from behind, and his first touch is not too great here. Second one is better, and he's interfering with oKhaliD's recovery now. Flipping a position for Meek, so he's still trying to reach this ball, but the mind game, accidental or not, nearly catches oKhaliD out of position. A lot of boost saved up for oKhaliD, in fact. That is a brilliant flick. It's just gone right over Ixo's head. And yes, Ixo, you did steal his boost, but you didn't take what he had on him. He saved up plenty. That's just unbelievable, the acceleration that oKhaliD got on the ball there. Just reminding Ixo that if you're going to shadow him, you better be far back, because at any minute the ball might be launched towards your goal. And oKhaliD just taking the boost here. No problem from Ixo. Of course, that means the opposite, because he does have a problem now. It's a 2-goal deficit with 45 seconds left. Could be considered careless or risky for Ixo to make a lunge move for that boost at the side of the field. There was always a chance that oKhaliD would beat him to it. The times are desperate for Ixo. He knows it's going to be difficult to make the comeback late in the game. If he gives oKhaliD the ball one time, that might be the end of it all. He could just run down the rest of the clock right there and then. Oh, Ixo's found a way through here. Threatened a demo on oKhaliD, locked him up by being side by side, and then turned around when it favored him and just put the ball into the net. That was good avoidance initially, or so it seemed by oKhaliD, not to get demoed, but still got caught out of position. And Ixo has got the ball under control in the final 15 seconds. He turns safely, sees where oKhaliD is, and he bumps him out of the way. That's going to be a tie game. Ixo 6-all with 8 seconds left, and it's another successful air dribble bump. Last year, this was his go-to move. Late game comebacks, overtime wins were all coming in with air dribble bumps, and to be honest, if he could set another one up, I don't see why he wouldn't go for it, because oKhaliD is struggling to deal with them. The last attack of overtime, or regulation time I should say, looks like it is going to go to oKhaliD. Trying to dribble it in, but Ixo gets the ball onto the ground, and we have overtime, game 1. Ixo's been trying to claw his way back into this game since it started, but now he has a huge chance to take it all. He knows oKhaliD is pretty far back, the net is wide open, and Ixo won't miss from here. The ball bounced kindly for him, but after oKhaliD went completely ball chase mode after the kickoff, it was Ixo's game to lose. 1-0, Ixo takes the lead.
He may have been on the back foot for most of the first game, but it is Ixo who takes the lead in the series. But it is far from over, and oKhaliD is not one to be beaten easily, as we all know. Let's see what changes in game 2, if anything does.
After leading for the majority of the game, oKhaliD takes a loss, and Ixo is Mr. Clutch right now, it would seem. But he has to keep that up. If he drops off in his level of play for 1 second, he he will be punished. oKhaliD is the king of consistency right now. But perhaps he needs to take a leaf out of Ixo's playbook. He needs to try and pop off occasionally. And that's a pretty good way to do it. I mean, when I said take a leaf out of Ixo's book, I didn't mean literally take the play that keeps working for him and do it yourself. But it's certainly not a bad idea. oKhaliD in the lead again, as he has been for most of the series. Can he lock up the win this time? Nice early challenge by oKhaliD. If you compare the styles of play, oKhaliD and Alpha that Ixo just disposed of in the previous round, you see that oKhaliD is far more willing to turn around aggressively and early than Alpha is. Oh, Ixo just couldn't quite get high enough for this rebound. He's trying to turn around and put the ball on target again. Both players have no boost here. Ixo pops it on target a second time, and he's still going to make a play for the ball here. Gets the boost as well. This is how to pressure your opponent. Ixo not giving oKhaliD any room to breathe. oKhaliD is trying desperately to hold on, but Ixo's giving him an opening. His ball rolls wide. And that's careless by Ixo. He was playing well there. He was keeping the pressure on, not leaving the ball or giving oKhaliD ball possession at all for the longest time. And then right at the end, snatched at a shot. It didn't work out. Oh, but the mind game will. And I don't know how planned this was, but it was well executed in the final seconds here by Ixo. Because he might have realized that his flick wasn't going to make contact with the ball, so he might as well just let it roll through. There's a chance oKhaliD pre-jumps too high. There's also a chance that the save just bounces in off Ixo's car. And of course, the excessive air rolling there really convinced oKhaliD that Ixo was planning a shot. Is this really going in for Ixo? Yes, it is. Another air dribble bump. This one closer to the ceiling than the floor. He just pops it once high into the air and then snipes oKhaliD out the air. And this is just brutal to watch. oKhaliD trying everything here. He's tried waiting on the goal line. He's tried jumping late. He's tried now jumping as early as he can. And every time, Ixo somehow makes contact and knocks him away and watches the ball cross the line. It's 2-1 in favor of Ixo. He needed to wait till overtime in game 1 before he got the lead. Now he's got one in regulation. And if he thinks that this is all about mentality, he's off to a great start, because he must be feeling confident at the moment. His offense is doing a number on oKhaliD, and not many players have made oKhaliD look this vulnerable defensively at all this tournament. And Ixo is doing so right now. oKhaliD is really struggling to get his own game going. We've not seen many of those terrifying bounce dribbles that we became so accustomed to seeing Ixo off the back wall and through again. Still surprising oKhaliD with his approach. Oh my goodness, oKhaliD's pinched that one out of the net though. What on earth? I don't know how he's saved that. Gonna definitely have to take another look at that one later on. It's one of those where you wish there was a goal immediately afterwards so you could see it in a replay. But Ixo might not know much about it. He was demoed, so does he know just how close that was to being a goal? I think for his sake it's best if he doesn't, because that would be insanely hard to come back from. But he's not going to have any difficulty coming back from it, because he finds another way through. Boost stolen, and the shot gets lined up. Ixo threatening the shot to the far post, slots it in just inside the near post behind oKhaliD. And look at that, he's 2 goals ahead, and he's going to go 3 goals ahead in fact. Kickoff goal for Ixo. And whereas usually I'd think that camera being thrown around in a kickoff or in a goal explosion aftermath would indicate Ixo being tilted. This time I think he's just getting hyped up. He's feeling good about his chances here, and that is very ambitious but unsuccessful. Ixo made his play very obvious to oKhaliD here. He showed him exactly what he was going to do, and oKhaliD shot the ball to the side. Very, very smart placement by the Middle Eastern pro. Can he keep this up? Delayed kickoff, not able to make contact, but this is still a good result for oKhaliD. Or is it? Ixo snipes him on the back wall. You know, you thought he was going to get the ball there, but Ixo had other ideas. Bumps him out of the way again, and this pressure continues. Ixo, surely not another air dribble bump. No, this time it's going to be a flip reset wave dash shot. What can't this man do? He's looking like the second coming of Astral. oKhaliD is still such a dangerous opponent. All it takes is one misplay for Ixo, and Khalid will be right back in the game, and that might be it. 1 goal game, 1 minute and 12 left. And if Khalid can get a good kickoff, Ixo is going to be in huge trouble. He didn't really pop that ball low enough to merit that fake pop again. Flying back down too low. Khalid didn't initially win the kickoff here, but it looks like he's going to win the possession anyway, and he does equalize, and that is Ixo's worst nightmare. 1 goal for Khalid, coming off a misplay where Ixo gives the ball away accidentally, and then another goal immediately afterwards, the following kickoff. Ixo muscles his way into position to win the race to the ball, and the boost as well. Brilliant dodge by Ixo to recover from Khalid's bump. And the mind game from Khalid, he's just barely had that shot saved by Ixo. He's having a good success rate against low shots and low 50-50s recently. The ball's doing laps now, and this has got to favor Khalid. He's always able to find a small misplay to punish in this kind of position. And with how Ixo's playing, you worry that he might just bring an unforced error out all of a sudden. He's trying for everything right now. Khalid is just waiting patiently for his opportunity. That was it, but he's missed it. Wide of the target and bouncing up into the air. It's a nightmare for Khalid, and he might be about to get murdered. Yes, he does. Ixo's taking him out of the game, and he slow plays the open net. So smart by Ixo. But Khalid will be kicking himself. He's just missed a wide open net at the other end of the field. And as soon as Ixo gets the ball to his side of the field, he gets the demo. There is nowhere for Khalid to go. He was getting bumped into it. Can he get the ball up into the air? Yes, he can. It's not over just yet. Ixo's giving him some space. Khalid brings it down. He's trying to equalize on 0 seconds, but it's hit the crossbar and then the floor. Khalid tried at the last second, but it didn't pay off. Ixo 2-0.
Thank you Manscaped for sponsoring the EU Salt Mine. There's an offer code for you, Tourney20, which is a 20% discount for Manscaped purchases. oKhaliD does not quite complete the comeback, and Ixo takes a bigger series lead.
This has to be, by far, the biggest test of Khalid's one's career. He has just lost a game 1, where he led for the entire game, and then loses it to a late equalizer and an overtime goal. And then, in the following game, he misses on an overtime equalizer for himself by a thread. So close, yet so far. But for Ixo, he might be feeling like luck is on his side today. It's not often that you play against an oKhaliD who's missing open nets and miss-hitting the ball occasionally. So often, the absolute pillar of consistency. But Ixo's really bringing the mistakes out of him now. He's playing at such a pace that even oKhaliD is uncomfortable at times. oKhaliD's still holding on here. And I'm sure, even after going down 2-0, everybody watching back home knows he's got a brilliant chance to come back. He's done it before, and no doubt he's capable to do it again. So really is playing some of the best Rocket League of his life though right now. I said he was going to have to play the best of his life. Well, might just be the best series I've seen from him. He almost slams a pinch shot in off the ceiling. So has to leave the corner boost for Khalid. Khalid delays his shot to the back post just to prevent Ixo from making contact. He's looking for an opening here, and he might have found one. High shot saved by Ixo as well. Khalid is attacking with vicious intent here. But Ixo has held on. He's kept him out, and now it's Khalid's worst nightmare again. Ixo's starting the air dribble, and the bump is sure to follow. How do you stop this man when he jumps up into the air and gets the ball moving right behind him? Not many players have found the answer to that question. Khalid, one of the best defenders in the world, still hasn't got a reliable answer. These have been low-scoring games. Not often you see Ixo looking so dominant in this kind of matchup. More experienced with the explosive end-to-end type of games. You would really think that oKhaliD would dominate in this exchange, and he has in this particular one. Ixo's willingness to attack the ball, regardless of his boost total, does get him in trouble every now and then. oKhaliD puts in an open net. If only, he'll be thinking he could have done that last game. And we might be seeing a different series score at the moment. Ixo delays his ceiling shot and equalizes beautifully right after a kickoff. You know, you can call it a kickoff pressure play, but you don't get much better than that. oKhaliD trying to challenge early. He knows he's got no chance if he sits on the goal line against a player like Ixo. Even when he does make a move for the ball, Ixo sees it coming and moves the ball out of the way. And oKhaliD with a ceiling shot, trying to mirror what Ixo just did, to no avail. He still has the ball under control. The king of absorbing his opponent's challenges. He's trying to do that to Ixo right now. Notice how oKhaliD rarely jumps on any of these 50-50s. He wants to be able to drive away immediately after hitting the ball, while his opponent is still mid-dodge. Ixo, meanwhile, more risk-taking, I would say. He's, especially today, really going for it. And it has paid off at times. oKhaliD, wide open net rebound, puts it in. It's one of those times where the risk just does not justify the reward. Ixo taking a 50-50, which is so hard to execute. He really needs to be hitting the center of that ball for it to make any sense, and it's hard to hit the ball at all when you're coming on at that angle. But oKhaliD's just made the oldest mistake in the book. The ball is sitting in the middle, and he's ran away to the side boost. Maybe he didn't realize just how bad that bounce was going to be. But it's kicked off into the middle of the field, and Ixo has equalized again after wasting no time, and now he's got the pressure in his favor. Ixo trying to get the ball underneath his opponent. oKhaliD does close the door on that avenue of attack, and now switches to the blue side. Clean half flip from oKhaliD, choosing to flip the correct direction there just so he can land a tiny bit faster. The ball is doing laps again, and I said that this is usually something that favors oKhaliD, but with Ixo's defense looking as good as it does, who knows who this favors. oKhaliD going side to side, stealing boost as he does it. Ixo must be running low, and this is a huge chance for oKhaliD. He booms it top shelf, and you felt it coming. Ixo was getting drained here. He was getting wrong-footed over and over again. Couldn't keep up with oKhaliD, switching sides. And this could be, finally, the game where a man from KSA gets one on the board. Ixo still trying to make comebacks happen. He's a hair away from demoing oKhaliD there. Must have been close to supersonic. Off the wall goes Ixo, of course. Why wouldn't he? And he's managed to connect with the ball very late on in his dodge after flip resetting on it. oKhaliD kind of panicking into his shot, and he's out the game, but so is Ixo, and he's not landed on his wheels either. May have been able to get there had he done so. oKhaliD beats him into position. He's trying to draw Ixo in here, looking for the opening past him, but did oKhaliD just make the biggest mistake of the game? Not yet, because he is just too quick in the recovery. He wants that 2-goal lead. He really would love to have that cushion to sit on going into the final few seconds to prevent Ixo from doing what he's done all day. Ixo comes out of a challenge and then volleys the ball high, but oKhaliD has taken the ball and sent it long away from Ixo and into the ground for 2-1.
Game 3 is close, just like the others, but this time oKhaliD gets a win he was increasingly needing. One more and he will have tied up the series, but Ixo has made a pattern of going up 3-1, so he might continue that today.
oKhaliD fights back, and not a moment too late. After losing 2 incredibly close games like he did, he had to get one on the board. But just look at this shooting. This is the kind of thing that has been missing today. And if it starts to come back, Ixo might be in trouble. Every single one of these shots, so much pace on it when khalid gets the bounce dribble started. You know, credit to Ixo. He's really dictated the pace of the match so far. And he's dictated the positions that the game's going to take place. He hasn't given khalid space to start any of his bounce dribbling. He's challenging early on every single play. He's got khalid boost starved here. And the net is wide open behind him. khalid, after landing poorly, he just didn't have anywhere to go. He tried to get 2 boost pads before turning back to goal, but even one was a risk. It was taking him away from any real position to defend the net from. Ixo's shots have been equally powerful today. Both players have been drilling the ball at each other's goals. And you have to do that in the modern day ones game. Everybody's just too good in defense for anything but the absolute best. And that's what Ixo's bringing to the table today. A quick flick, and he reacts well to the down bounce. Rebounds on target before oKhaliD can get in the way. Ixo looking to play for the boost. Maybe the ball, but no, he has to leave it for khalid, who did make a faster track to it. Even though khalid's air dribble just got blocked, he'll be pretty happy with the outcome here. He's denying Ixo 100 boost pads, at least for now. Oh wow, Ixo has found a way through, and now all of a sudden he's not far off scoring. He's flicked off target though with low boost, and he's got to be careful. He's playing with fire right now, Ixo. He's got his back to the ball. Thankfully for him, it's a rare slow shot from oKhaliD. Has really had his pace and his tempo broken by Ixo's constant harassment. He just doesn't leave khalid alone. He's either trying to bump him or demo him or reverse challenge into him. Constant pressure. khalid just doesn't have any way to establish those dribbles, which are usually so scary. That one, by khalid standards, was simply not good enough. Have to be better. The shots have to be more like this. Top corner is what you expect from this guy, because he's shown us a capability to do that every time in a game. And this time he does do it. Showing great resilience mentally, oKhaliD, to 2 games. It must have been difficult to swallow. Now it's all about Ixo's mentality. Can he respond to oKhaliD leveling up his own game mid-series? And shot on the wall for Ixo. More of a clear ball perhaps, but he's always hoping that it'll fly into the corner and then bounce into the net. khalid takes it in the air with another air dribble. Ixo's kept that one out as well. Honestly, Ixo's defense of air dribbles is so impressive. When you look at how successful he is at air dribbling his opponents, and you look at what he's able to do preventing theirs from working, you wonder, what is he doing differently that nobody else is? If only that translated to every aspect of his defensive games. He's just flipped past the ball. And that's not the first time we saw Ixo do this. Same mistake was made against OSM just 2 rounds ago. Now oKhaliD is ahead by 1 again, and these are the sort of games that Ixo dreads, where he's trailing by a goal or 2. Well, I think he's gone and done it this time though. Ixo, second try, puts the pinch on target, and what a celebration with a nose slide. We have to take another look at that. khalid will need to respect Ixo's ability to hit those pinch shots on target from just about anywhere. Because if you leave him for a split second, it might be too late. The ball will already be past you and into your net. Ixo takes control of another possession play, shoots low and early, seeing khalid turn. Miss his control on the ball. khalid gets another dribble going. Notice every dribble khalid makes. He's making an angle that gives him vision of where Ixo is. The control though by Ixo to catch the ball and then pop it on target as quickly as he does. Something very few players can replicate. Again, brilliant challenge by Ixo. These are 2 of the most aggressive players in the tournament. And they're showing exactly how to challenge your opponent, to prevent them from getting the shots that they want to get set up. Ixo, wide open net, he slots it in. And khalid needs to do better. This was just simply not good enough. Tries for the flip reset from close range. We've seen him do this before many times, but he has to hit that shot. He at least has to hit the flip reset to force Ixo to think about it. Ixo could see exactly what was going on there. He had the full story in full vision, and again Ixo with a hard read on oKhaliD's defensive clear. I don't know what exactly oKhaliD was going for here. I mean, it looks like he's trying to pass the ball to himself, set up a long shot, maybe thinking that Ixo will back off 100% on that play. But knowing Ixo and looking at what he's done today, I really don't see where he could have got that logic from. Ixo has not been leaving the ball. He's not been giving oKhaliD, sorry, free dribbles pretty much forever. oKhaliD is having to work so hard for them, and he does get one working. Ixo again stepping in, getting in his face, but instead of getting a bounce dribble started, oKhaliD stays close to the ball and gets the ball around Ixo. That's the key. If he can just play the ball away from Ixo, his chances of scoring are going to increase significantly. Ixo will have to be careful in the final minutes here. Oh, that's a perfect shot though. 2-goal game again. Ixo on the kickoff finds the open net. And how important is that? oKhaliD's probably thinking again, the open net that he missed. If only it was so easy to go back and play that again. I'm sure he'd score it 9 times in a row. oKhaliD hanging on now for life in game number 4. He's hanging on for his tournament life as well. Hanging on to his win streak. There's so much pressure on this rookie player who's coming in for a debut season, sweeping the entire league, and then having to go against a man on fire in the grand finals. Ixo's doing a good job running down the clock here. I don't know if oKhaliD can even get 2 chances, far less score them, and if Ixo can just keep his boost total up, he's going to deny all future chances in this game. And there is the confirmation. Ixo is now 3-1 up against oKhaliD.
3-1 it is. Ixo finds himself in a similar situation to his previous rounds in the Gauntlet. They all ended in victory, but beating oKhaliD will still be a greater challenge. oKhaliD has to hope for 3 wins in a row.
What a journey Ixo has been on so far this tournament. Starting off league play, 0 wins, 2 losses, right at the bottom of the table, for winning 4 series in a row, being just 1 game away from auto-qualifying for the World Finals, and then losing all 3 in his last series against Flakes. That started, though, an incredible Gauntlet run. He had to get the first win against OSM just to qualify for Worlds. Then, he's just been getting revenge on everybody who beat him during league play. Flakes fell first, Alpha shortly thereafter, and oKhaliD, the last man to have a win on Ixo, is about to do the same unless he can win 3 games in a row. He's done this against Ixo before. Can he do it again? Ixo today certainly looks more complete package than he did on that previous day, but oh dear, he's just ran the ball into his own net. He had the bump on oKhaliD, which was genius. The only way that he could prevent the goal here is by bumping, but it looks like he might have taken a hit himself because steering left into the ball was not what he wanted to do. And just like that, oKhaliD is 2 goals ahead, and you know, speaking of storylines, he's got a pretty good one as well. Coming in as a debut player, having to qualify for the league, going through every other player in his path with ease before really hitting a roadblock called Astral, and somehow coming out from that series with a win as well. It's all been going brilliantly for oKhaliD since then. Not all the series have been easy, but he's won every single one of them, and he wants to keep that streak going. He wants to win this entire tournament and the World Finals too, to show everybody there are more than 2 regions in the 1v1 game. I'm sure you're already convinced of that. 3-0 in game number 5. This is exactly what he needs if he's going to start a comeback here. Has to try and demolish Ixo, has to try and crush him mentally. Ixo has just been on point. He's been so in the zone today. You can just tell by the way he's moving his car and the confidence in his hits and his plays that he is feeling good about this series. He's feeling confident. oKhaliD's going to feel pretty good about how Game 5 is going. I'm honestly surprised that he didn't shoot earlier on that last play. He had the lineup looking so good. Ixo seems to have steadied the ship for now. The first step to any comeback is, of course, to try and stop conceding more goals. And actually, that's what's going to happen to Ixo. He's tried a very difficult air roll shot here, having to fly in front of the ball and then hit it back the way it's coming. But the problem is that it just takes too long. He's waiting for the ball to come to him. oKhaliD instead making a play to the ball, not waiting, not wasting time. Ixo shoots early. Who needs boost when you've got the open net after the kickoff? The first big misplay from oKhaliD comes in. He's just whiffed the ball as it bounces past him. Ixo still looking to pile on the pressure. He's missed the ball now. What was a heavy first touch. He had a lot of catching up to do. You wouldn't expect him to completely drive by it. Of course, he is going for the perfect contact, and very often in that position, the perfect contact on the ball is barely hitting it. So you can catch it as cleanly as possible. oKhaliD looks like he's going to hit the ball pretty clean here. Bar down and in. Avoiding Ixo's pre-flip challenge in the process. And this is the best game we've seen yet from oKhaliD, at least on the scoreboard. But he hasn't had to do too much differently from what he was doing earlier. There might be just a small part of Ixo nerves creeping in. You wondered, is he about to go one better every game? He's already had a 4-3, 4-2 and a 4-1 in the Gauntlet. All that's left is to get a 4-0 and he's got the perfect run. Ixo takes the ball to the corner. Wave dash did not set up any real shot opportunity, but this certainly will. The movement to the ball couldn't be any better. Ixo just gets oKhaliD in the wrong foot, and it looks like oKhaliD actually messed up a wave dash in the corner, which wasn't necessary. Of course, he does want to keep his mechanics warm. Doesn't want to get sluggish late in the game here. So he knows Ixo is going to fight back with everything he's got. He was able to do that in game 1. oKhaliD now. I'm going to back off from another Ixo dribble, but it's a slower shot than what Ixo was looking for. Of course, he's going to keep on aggressing though. He doesn't want to give oKhaliD any free clears. And it might be somewhat open here. Ixo has dunked oKhaliD, but it hasn't gone too quickly towards the goal. oKhaliD keeps it out. Still hanging on in the final few minutes here, preventing Ixo from scoring for a lengthy period of time. Might do as much to destroy Ixo's confidence as putting goals into his net will, because today what's really been working for Ixo constantly has been his goal scoring capability. oKhaliD has really struggled to stop him from scoring whenever he wants to. Of course, oKhaliD has also been scoring goals, but defense has never really been something that Ixo's momentum depends on. It's just getting better as time goes on. Offense, though, really, really will start to have a negative impact if oKhaliD can deny him for a lengthy period of time. I would even go as far to say that this is already quite a lengthy period of time. I don't know if that's the best course of action. oKhaliD just flipping past the ball. Of course, he's trying to clip it with the back end of the car to get a higher hit on it, to send the ball flying over the top of Ixo's head. But like I said about Ixo earlier, you have to make contact. You have to test your opponent. You can't just go all in and end up missing it, or else things like this might start happening. I feel like I've seen this goal before. It's still the third time today that Ixo's just blasted this same kickoff goal into that bottom right corner. That placement is key, and if he does get back within touching distance here, be thinking about all these open nets and all these chances that he was able to take. oKhaliD trying to get this clock any lower. That would be fine for him. And he's actually going to get another goal to sit on as well. Slow playing here from oKhaliD is genius. If he can just sit behind the ball. There really isn't any imminent danger that Ixo can bring, other than a drive-by demo. And he could just keep his eye on Ixo. There's no chance of that happening either. And that's going to be a game to oKhaliD. Still behind by 1 in the series, but sounds much better than 1-3. Now, getting his second game on the board. And you wonder, is the game 7 on the horizon, as it often is in Ixo series? For now, we have at least one more game.
With a game win like that, you have to assume oKhaliD has found the strategy to control Ixo and get the wins he needs. It's time to look to Ixo to show us the adaptation he needs to secure his series winning game. What is he going to do?
Another match point for Ixo, another tournament point. Another chance to lock in that top seed. oKhaliD on the comeback trail. Already looking more calculated, but he didn't do too much calculating here. He has been keeping his eye on Ixo all day, watching his every move, trying to counter accordingly, but here he really let his guard down. I don't know if he was thinking too far ahead, maybe wanting to get an air dribble bump going and thus going directly at Ixo's goal, but you have to look out for those early challenges if you're against Ixo. He loves to turn around, hide behind the ball, and then just drive right into it. It's a 2-0 lead now for Ixo. oKhaliD making another mistake. He's gone for the mid boost when he's not going to get there. And Ixo starting to put together a few offensive plays. Luckily for oKhaliD, he does get the next kickoff to work in his favor. And he's going straight at Ixo again. This time doesn't leave it up to chance. He doesn't want to wait until Ixo's right in his face before moving the ball. He pops it on target. And inside 30 seconds, we've already seen 3 goals. A couple of other games this series have been at this scoreline. About 2 or 3 minutes in. It's all about the offense now. Ixo off the post. oKhaliD just denying him that low challenge goal. You've got to look out, Ixo. oKhaliD does know how to flick the ball pretty quick with low boost. Ixo did plenty watching though, and he didn't see too much threat. And it's in fact going to be him that's scoring. And I wonder, what was it that kept oKhaliD from flicking that ball? He must have not felt like it was sitting perfectly in his car, and he was just waiting for that to happen. You don't have an infinite amount of time here. As you wait longer and longer to let the ball settle, you are getting closer and closer to Ixo's goal. Ixo staying with the ball briefly, but he has to back off, and now oKhaliD going straight for him again. It's an air dribble dunk attempt, but it's saved by Ixo. It looks like that is what oKhaliD has been trying this whole game. He wants to bump Ixo out the way. That's very cheeky. Ixo nipping in. Now he's going for a demo as well, but oKhaliD has escaped him, and he puts in a shot on the open net. And after being so careful for most of the day with when to go for demos and how far to overextend for them, that one didn't really fit the bill. Ixo miles out of the play, swinging wildly at his opponent. oKhaliD, although he was side on to the play, still heard it coming a mile away, but that's much better. Ixo flicks the ball long and into the net. oKhaliD with a consolation demo, but that's all he's going to get here. Look at the difference of challenges. If anything, oKhaliD might be coming off second best on his rush challenges today. He loves to do them just to keep his opponent guessing. Ixo's have been more consistent. His angle of attack, whenever he's coming in for a defensive play, is so hard to stop, but so is this one. That's a really good play by oKhaliD, and Ixo just kind of got himself on the wrong side of the ball here. May have been trying to bump oKhaliD out of the way, may have been looking for a 50-50, but probably want to do that when you have more boost. 3-4 on the scoreboard. oKhaliD, the chance to equalize. He's always respecting oKhaliD's turning on the sidewall. Figures there's no point ball chasing here. It is likely to go over his head regardless. Ixo Wave dashes into a boost seal. He has committed off the wall for this, but it's not too much of a commitment. oKhaliD crushes that goal attempt. Starts one of his own. This is a better bounce dribble by him. Got the lineup that he always wants. Backs away from the challenge as well, but Ixo stayed with this one. He might be winning in this back and forth, in this exchange. Seems to be going in the favor of Ixo. oKhaliD's goalkeeping is going to make life difficult for him. And that might be open. It looks like it very much is. oKhaliD going to send it into the bottom right corner just to make sure. And now alarm bells are going off inside Ixo's head. He had a lead earlier. It is gone. He already lost a couple of games to this guy today. He's thinking, is this another one? Is he really going to another Game 7? oKhaliD picking up so many fans and so many admirers of his skills from this tournament. Ixo's, of course, been impressing people in the one scene for a long time, but the two come together today as relative equals. It's been so hard to separate them at times. Ixo has made a little bit of a gap here physically with a demo and a respawn on the far side, and that is fortunate for Ixo. I don't know if it would have mattered if oKhaliD spawned on the near post, but always a chance if you do. You might end up getting a bump, but oh dear. Ixo has just jumped past the ball, and he has given oKhaliD a 5th goal. Heck W from Ixo. You don't know what that means? Google is your friend. But Ixo probably isn't laughing about what just happened. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's having a great time in his own dismay. He's going to be a lot happier after seeing this goal go in. 1-goal lead for Ixo in a game which would win the entire tournament for him. 1:12 on the clock. Let's see if he can keep it up. Can he lock in the W, secure first seed, and win the EU Salt Mine? Just over a minute left. oKhaliD, of course, ready to up the aggression. He's going to get in Ixo's face, force him to fight for his life, to fight for this game. Another early challenge from oKhaliD, and he's got an opening through the middle. Tie game again. And oKhaliD's challenge game has stepped up. Gone are the moments when he's backing off into goal and hoping Ixo fails his attack. He's bringing everything he has forward and looking to take down Ixo at the halfway line. Ixo 40 boost off the ceiling shot. oKhaliD has 2 to his name, but he still takes the ball under control. Just over half a minute left. What's it going to be for oKhaliD as he dribbles towards Ixo slowly on the ground, snipes him out the way as he takes the boost. Now oKhaliD has the bounce dribble started. Call him the scariest bounce dribbler in the world this tournament. Ixo's been handling them well today, but can he do it for another 10 seconds and maybe overtime? Can oKhaliD send us to a Game 7? Just 1 goal needed for oKhaliD, and he might have done it. Yes, he has! This time, he gets the ball to cross the line on 0 seconds. He went for it. He gave it everything he's got. And with a 7th goal, oKhaliD sends us to a 7th game.
It was a much closer game again, as Ixo took more control back. But he will certainly feel like he has thrown away a good chance at the series win. oKhaliD with a late goal confirms that it all comes down to the last game in this final.
What a play by oKhaliD to get us into this game. It was right there for either player to take it. The tournament win for Ixo, or the game win for oKhaliD. He just reached out and took it right under Ixo's nose. And now we see who has the guts, who has the focus, who has the mentality to take it all in a Game 7. Both players have had incredible tournaments up until now, but someone's is about to get a whole lot better, and oKhaliD might be that man, but not if Ixo has anything to say about it. Bumps him out the way and sends a shot on target early. oKhaliD saves it, but he's still backed up against the wall. Ixo, wave dash shot, saved again by oKhaliD. He's fighting hard early in the game. Perfect timing on the boost respawn for Khalid. And Ixo has given up pretty much an attack. He didn't trust himself to hit a flick. He didn't trust himself to hit the air dribble bump or any kind of aggressive play that we've seen from him earlier in the tournament. He just walked forward looking for maybe a 50-50 or oKhaliD to panic. This guy doesn't flinch. He hasn't blinked in 14 years. And now, with just a minute gone in Game 7, he has taken a 1-0 lead. Ixo under immense pressure. But he is going to try and up the pace here. He was dominating earlier in the series when pace was at an all-time high. And I think if he can keep it this way, he has a great chance to take it all. End to end from Ixo. And just like that, we're all tied up. No doubt, for whoever ends up 1 goal behind in this game, it will feel like the fastest 5 minutes of their lives. And whoever's leading, it will feel like an eternity. But Ixo smashes another one on target, or does he? It's gone out off the post. Unbelievable. Ixo must have thought he'd done it there, but now he's got to defend against oKhaliD, and he's not going to be able to do so. oKhaliD, with his scariest play, takes a 1-goal lead. Ixo is so close. I thought it was on target. He must have thought it was in, but it came off the post at an awkward angle, and oKhaliD on the counter-attack set up the bounce dribble, and you know what happens next. 2-1 lead for the Middle Eastern man. Now he's starting another bounce dribble. If this game becomes a slow-mo bouncy ball back and forth, I don't think Ixo's going to have too much of a chance here. That is just what oKhaliD specializes in. Ixo needs to get the ball into the air. He needs to use the walls. He has to get his air dribble bump started again. So oKhaliD is on an absolute tear right now. Even though these games have been close, he just seems to find a way in every single one of them. And it might be another goal for oKhaliD. Yes, it is. Ixo down by 3. oKhaliD on the warpath. Over 2 minutes gone already. Ixo's got a long way back. The new improved aggression that oKhaliD is bringing to the table is giving Ixo no time to think about what he's doing. He just has to go all guns blazing. And luckily for Ixo, that is how he plays half the times anyway, so it's going to feel pretty normal for him. Gets 1 goal back. Quick. Down the middle, straight into the open net. As soon as he realized he was going to be able to resist that bump from oKhaliD. Ixo lets the ball bounce once more. He tries to snipe oKhaliD out of the air, but it does not work out. Just like that, oKhaliD could slow the game down again. You can see the change of pace. Both players really just want the game to be played their way. As soon as Ixo gets the ball, he gets it moving as fast as possible. As soon as oKhaliD gets it, he slows it down to a halt. But Ixo's fighting back here, and he gets a 3rd goal. And with 2 minutes and 18 left, it is still all to play for. Kickoff win would be huge for Ixo. Of course it would for both players, but Ixo needs it more. And he gets it. oKhaliD straight away gets in his face and at least delays him for a moment or two. And Ixo's actually hit the ball too hard here. You know, he's trying to get the ball moving as fast as possible, but has he gone too fast? He gives it away and he lands horrendously, and he just has to watch in pain as oKhaliD walks the ball into his goal. The half flip went wrong completely there for Ixo, and that's 2 things that don't usually let him down. Quick counter attack followed by the immediate recovery. It's more of what you'd expect from him. oKhaliD is making his life as difficult as possible, and once again he slows down the pace. He knows exactly what Ixo's trying to do here, and he's countering it brilliantly. Again, oKhaliD happy to watch the ball sit safely at the side of the field. This is not a position that Ixo can easily score from. oKhaliD will just let the ball sit there all day if he has to. He only has to do it for a minute and 20 seconds more, and he's got the tournament win. The win streak will continue unless Ixo can do something about it. Boost steal coming in for Ixo. oKhaliD still is letting the ball sit in the corner and win the game for him. Ixo thought about the demo, but instead turns around for the shot. oKhaliD walks into the danger zone and comes away with a 50-50 win and another goal to add to his collection. You wonder, can anyone beat this guy? It doesn't matter what he's up against. It doesn't matter how many challenges he has to go through. He just always prevails. And even though Ixo's played the best Rocket League of his life, it just might not be on the cards today. Can he put this one in? Yes, he can. oKhaliD off the post next to the orange goal. And it is the worst possible post bounce. Straight back into the midfield where Ixo can use it. 45 seconds left. 2-goal game. Just when it looked like it was all over, oKhaliD throws Ixo a bone. Ixo might have a small chance here, but oKhaliD is not going to relent. He puts in another goal straight off the center circle. And Ixo's got 41 seconds to score 3 times. Remember, the winner of this will play against the Lion Blaze at Worlds. The loser plays Lethamyr. Not something you want to do, but oKhaliD's just stopped the play that he hasn't been able to stop all day. Ixo's air dribble bump, one of the most deadly weapons in all of Rocket League, has failed him when it matters most, and oKhaliD is running down the clock. He might be able to win it on this possession play. Well, he's getting excited. He's giving the ball away at least one more time here. Ixo's got to score right now, or it's just not going to happen, and it isn't going to happen. The time is gone. Ixo had a 3-1 lead, but he has blown it, and oKhaliD from behind is your EU Salt Mine champion. First seed for Worlds, undefeated, never lost in a one-show match. What a player, what a series, what a game.
I think Johnny kinda just summed up everything I could say about the series there. oKhaliD holds on to his win streak. Both players must be exhausted, because I am. Ixo had his chances today, but has come out second best. Ixo closes out his EU Salt Mine run with a close loss, but a loss nonetheless. He earns second place in this tournament, which gives him second seeding for EU entering the finals. oKhaliD is victorious, winning every league match and the Gauntlet final. We will next see him at Worlds, where he can hope to extend this win streak over even more Top 1's players. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring the EU Salt Mine. There's an offer code for Manscaped purchases, TOURNEY20, which will give you a 20% discount. We are taking a short break before the World Final starts, since the EU Mine was shorter than expected. Look out for the start of Worlds on the 19th. Thanks to the team at calculated.gg for all the help making the stats possible. Thank you to everyone who's been commenting and giving feedback. And thanks for watching today. This is the EU Salt Mine. I am your host and friend, Brian.